First and foremost, what we did as a finance directorate a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago, is we took stock of what was happening globally, within the region, and basically in Oman. And when we look at Oman, basically, and focus on PDO, PDO is a significant contributor to this country's wealth, some 80% or so, and it's also a significant player within the oil and gas industry. PDO is evolving. We're a very successful company, but going forwards, it's going to be a lot more challenging to sustain the plateau production of about 550,000 barrels per day. And this is due to many reasons, one of which is declining fields, mature fields, aging facilities, and so on and so forth. However, PDO is also evolving. It's transitioning into a world-leading EOR company. By 2020, 30% of our production will come from EOR. By contrast, it used to be only 3% before Qan'alim Steam and Harweel came on stream. So if you look at this slide, and to be honest, this is a brilliant slide. It makes me feel so proud to work for PDO because you can visualize the extent of intensive activities that we'll be embarking upon between today and 2020. Active well count, for instance. Today, we're at about 5,700. By 2020, we'll be in excess of 7,000. We drill some 440 wells per annum, and this includes water injectors. If you look at the projects, for instance, between today and 2020, we're also going to embark on an intense capital investment program. If you look at the oil business alone, we'll be embarking upon some 11 significant projects, which comprise the 3 mega projects, Rabab Harweel Integrated, Budur, Harweel, each of which costs no less than $1 billion. All of the activities that you see on this slide will have a consequential impact on cost, resources, including people. And in fact, it's just not the number of people, but also the technical expertise of the kind of staff that we have and the commercial expertise of the staff that we have. To give you a few numbers, when you talk about people, a couple of years ago, there was a people cap at about 5725 or so. Today, as we stand, there are more than 7,000 bodies on seat. And by 2020, this is set to grow by yet another 40%, so quite significant. In addition, if you look at our spend to date, we have spent more than $5 billion. CapEx plus OpEx, oil and gas businesses combined. This is the highest level of spend that we have reached historically in this company, and it's growing as well. So as a finance directorate, what we did was we took a step back and we looked at the pace of change, we looked at the increase in complexity, we looked at the increase in cost, and we also looked at the diverse skill set that this organization, this company needs in order to support it in its journey going forwards. As a result, we launched our vision. And this vision essentially mirrors the PDO vision, but it also mirrors the vision that His Majesty has for our country. The PDO vision, or rather I'll stick to the Finance Directorate vision, by 2020, inshallah, we're going to be world class. Our vision is about anticipating business needs. It's about anticipating business needs as well as generating value and incorporating a global or essentially an external perspective. Key to this vision, the thing that underpins this vision are 6 priorities that we have introduced, and each of which has a sponsor as a member of my leadership team. These priorities include people, business partnering, external focus, continuous improvement, leadership, and One Finance. In the interest of time, I'm just going to cover 2 of these. However, I encourage you strongly to go to our website where you can get more information about this. You're welcome to contact the sponsors. The reference indicators are there. Or send me an email. I'm more than happy to reply to you personally. So if I take people, whilst each and every priority is equally important, I must admit that I'm the most passionate about the people priority. Because to me, people is about unleashing potential. It's about tapping into the creativity and expertise of each and every individual within my directorate. It is so important to me, it's so important to our directorate, that this year we've actually introduced a capability manager position. Notwithstanding, in 2013 alone, and even before we introduced the capability manager, a lot has been done on the people front. And to give you a few examples, we embarked on a job evaluation exercise. This was done by our corporate functional discipline heads, together with our skill pool managers, and quite some strong support from the PCD function. I'm sure you all know Ahmed Zakwani. Well, Ahmed Zakwani helped us out a lot in terms of unlocking potential and creating growth opportunities for positions that were, in the past, considered specialists. For example, quantity surveyors, finance and projects. But now with these positions, you can actually grow. The other thing that we've done is actually high-graded the competency level of our staff to enable them to proactively respond to the complex requirements of the business. We've also introduced short-term assignments, international assignments, but not just with Shell. We have dialogue with world-leading banks in order to facilitate the exchange of staff. The fourth thing that we've done is proactively gone after essentially training as well as developmental opportunities. This year, we introduced the biannual Finance Director Development Week. And what that is a week which gives a collage of different types of courses. It attracted 200 staff, not just within the directorate, outside the directorate as well, and outside the company. We had quite a few people from the State Audit Institution, as an example. And the type of topics that we covered range from mental resilience to funding to an interesting topic on the oil price and the impact on oil price given the politics in the region. Last but not least, we actively engage with each and every member of our directorate. And I'm not talking about the bog standard quarterly FD engagement sessions. We go beyond that. We have cappuccino sessions, we have your voice sessions, we have people talks where we encourage really proactive dialogue with staff, and we also have podcasts. And we do this because we recognize that we value and respect each and every voice within our directorate. So in summary, the people priority is really about building a capability and a talented workforce that's going to help us to take our directorate forward, essentially to world class by 2020. I do have a minute left, so I would like to touch upon business partnering. Given the context that I've just communicated to you in terms of the complexity of the business, the growing demands, and so on and so forth, there's also a requirement for our directorate to very quickly transition from the more traditional challenge and support type role to a more integrated commercial partner of the business. So what does that mean? It's fancy words, so what? Well, what it means is, if I take finance as an example, it means getting involved in projects very early as pre-DG2, and working collaboratively with the project teams and intimately with project services. It's about pushing finance outside of the traditional comfort zone of financial analysis, but being exposed into things like scheduling, cost estimation, and project risk management. Not in terms of finance. As an example for C&P, it's about really driving contracting strategies and closing the loop in terms of learnings from contracts that have been closed out to ensure they have been taken on board in the strategy stage. It's also about capitalizing on opportunities, for example, promoting in-country value. So in summary, the business partnering priority is about collaborating with the business. It's about positioning finance in such a way that the business seek us out and get advice from us and input. I do want to make an announcement. I don't know if this is allowed or not, but I'll do it anyway. December 15th, we are launching the business partnering program. It's going to be in this building at the atrium. It's going to be jointly launched by myself as well as the technical director, and I would encourage all of you to please come and attend so you can hear more about what we have to offer. So I do agree with both Amran and Intisar. Of course, it's a matter of personal style. Now, within our directorate, we're going through a bit of a cultural change. And what works for us is indeed the more formal engagements. But what we're finding there is it's a bit difficult to have a dialogue And it's easier to have a dialogue in smaller groups of, say, 30 at a time, because, yeah, indeed, people do feel much more comfortable to open up in those types of forums. And yes, I have found a big difference, because I find that we're not so distant from the coalface. People tell us exactly what it is that is on their minds, and quite a few of the issues that have been raised, which, by the way, are relevant, we have taken on board and incorporated either as a business improvement project or on our business plan. It's critical for us to be able to understand what it is that our staff are thinking.